Hey guys, hi, it's Sherry Capella, and today is day 17 of 100 Ways to Motivate Yourself. Now, the good news here is day 17 is something I have so much experience with, okay? So, day 17 is called Learn to Play a Role. And this one is just, I know I say this every time, but this one's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to read some of it to you because there's some really cool little nuggets that I want to pull from this that, might really speak to you in ways that, maybe my words won't. So, hi, Kim. So learn to play a role. This is really just you channeling your inner thespian. And here's what I mean by that. Your future is not determined by your personality. That is so interesting. In fact, your personality is not even determined by your personality. Isn't that interesting? There is no genetic code in you that determines who you will be. Gosh, that's so surreal when you think about it. It's pretty deep. You are the thinker who determines who you will be. How you act is who you become. How you act is who you become. That's essential to the rest of these points. So think about that. Another way of seeing that might be contained in these related thoughts from Star Trek's Leonard Nimoy. So I don't know if you guys know who Leonard Nimoy is, but he played Spock in Star Trek. And he basically says in this point that he felt like he was more Spock-like the more he had the character develop in him. So here's what he says about it. He said, Spock had a big effect on me. I am so much more Spock-like today than when I first played the part in 1965 that you wouldn't even recognize me. I'm not talking about appearance, but I'm talking about thought process. Doing that character, I learned so much about rational, logical thought that it reshaped my life. You'll gather energy and inspiration by being the character you want to play. Gosh, that's so interesting, you guys, because that just tells you how much control over yourself and over who you want to be that you actually have. This is the author talking now. It took an acting class a few years ago. I took an acting class a few years ago because I thought it would help me deal with my overwhelming stage fright. But I learned something much more valuable than how to relax in front of a crowd. I learned that my emotions were tools for me to use, not demonic forces. I learned that my emotions were mine to work with and to change at will. Although I had read countless times that our own deliberate thoughts control our emotions and that our feelings, the feelings that we have are all caused by what we think, I never trusted that concept as real because it didn't feel real. So what he's talking about here is, a lot of times people, all of us, me too, we give in to how we're feeling instead of realizing that how we're feeling is just because of a thought we had. So if we change our thought, we'll feel differently. For example, right now, I'm doing a 10,000 step a day challenge. I'm only at 6,000 steps for the day. I don't feel like going downstairs and getting on the treadmill. But I know that that's just a feeling. So I can have a different feeling by saying, I do. I want to think a different thought. So that thought is, I do want to get on the treadmill because I want to take 10,000 steps. I don't want to be the last person in my challenge group. Let's see. Here's another nugget that I pulled from this. Emotions really are under complete control of your mind. I found out in my acting class that I could motivate myself by thinking and acting like a motivated person. This is huge. Okay, so I want to give you guys an awesome example here. So my notes for this were, in life, it doesn't matter what, if you're not on the path that you want to be and you're not becoming the person that you want to be, then change your mind. Start writing another script. You can be anybody you want. You just need to be aware of the fact that you want to change and come up with a plan and start doing it and practicing it every day. When I was going to school, I was having a really hard time. Hi, Holly. I was having a really hard time because I thought, oh, poor me, I'm going to college and I've got all these things going on, and I was this close to graduation. And I was losing steam because I wanted to just go have fun and, do stuff that college kids do. But I knew if I didn't focus, I wasn't going to get where I wanted to be. So one day inspiration struck, and it comes from all kinds of different places. We all have different people that inspire us at different times in our lives. And at that time, there was a new show on MTV, and I'm dating myself now, but there was a new show on MTV called Real Life. I don't even know if it's still on. And there was this girl in there, and her name was Rebecca. And she was going to medical school to become like a brain surgeon. And at night, she was working out at night because her goal was to compete in a bodybuilding competition. Two things I can't relate to: brain surgery and physical fitness to become, a fitness athlete. I can't relate to. But what I drew inspiration from her in that particular point, or that show, was she was so focused and determined. And sometimes we don't have the best mentors in our lives to teach us how to be focused, to teach us how to be determined, to teach us how to dig deep and to really get what we need in order to become who we want to become. And so you need to find inspiration from somebody. And in that case, I found it from Rebecca. So she was like my vision board, if you will. I wrote, what would Rebecca do? I would write things in my planner that would say, channel your inner Rebecca. So my point is, there are times where the old adage of fake it until you make it come into play. And I really think that in my case, it has helped me so many times. You guys, I had a very successful career in corporate America. And there were days where I would walk into boardrooms with, you name it, types of personalities and skill sets and brains in these conference rooms. And I was the one doing a presentation. I, could have talked myself out of it. But I started to learn that, you know what, everybody else there is thinking about themselves. They weren't thinking about me. I was going to go up there and I was going to give a presentation and I was going to do what I was going to do. I could either be confident or I could lack confidence. And I decided I'm going to be confident. And I also learned that, it takes a lot to really acknowledge the fact that when you fake it until you make it, that's not a bad thing. It is really just harnessing your inner thespian and stepping into your greatness. It's all about practicing. That's what fake it until you make it really means. This last line I want to read to you. It says, we don't realize that we ourselves miss the same opportunities in life when we can't be the person we want to be. It doesn't take authentic circumstances to be who you want to be. It just takes rehearsal. So when I was wrapping up my college degree, I was just practicing being who I saw that I could be by learning from Rebecca. It's just an MTV show, but this was a real life situation of a woman who was following her dreams, channeling her inner thespian, faking it until she made it. She failed a lot, but she made it. What else did I want to tell you guys about? The last thing is, your emotions are just information. I talked at the beginning of this about how, our emotions, our feelings are just because of a thought. If you think something, it's going to cause you to feel something. You have control to think something else. When you are feeling nervous, this is what I teach my kids all the time. A lot of times, nervousness is just information, okay? Sometimes we mistake excitement or nervousness for excitement. Like, we could be like, the kids were really nervous about going to a new school. And I said, are you really nervous? Are you really scared? Is it more just the fact that you're excited and you're happy? We're just confused because we're not taught what our feelings really are. We just stew in them and we get comfortable in them. And so what we can do is realize that we have a choice to get comfortable in a different thought, in a different feeling, by simply questioning what it is we're thinking and feeling and changing what we're thinking to change what we feel. And when it doesn't come natural, just fake it until you make it. Like he said here, he believes that all of our circumstances can be different. It just takes practice. If you want to change the script of your life and be a different character, you have complete authority to rewrite your script. Just get on stage and start rehearsing a new role. There you go. Day 17. Have a good day. Bye.